So the bronze medal final of the Rugby World Cup has concluded. England getting themselves the victory, 26 points to 23. Now this was a hard-fought victory, a close game. At any moment could have gone either way, but the English once again having a close game within the 7 margin, and that has been the case for England since the quarterfinals, and they continue that streak here, but getting themselves the victory. Try scorers in that contest. We did see Ben Earl cross the try line in the 8th minute, and that try had quite a bit of significance for England as they weren't able to score throughout the group stage match up against the Argentines. They were able to score twice in this contest, one with Ben Earl and the other with Theo Dan in the 44th. Now that was actually straight after Theo Dan had missed a tackle alongside 2 other Englishmen that allowed Santiago Carreras to score the second try of the match for Argentina. That was the only try that they got in the second half. In the first, we saw Thomas Kubeli scoring the try for the Pumas. Now, it may have been off a forward pass, but they did say it was all right. And because of it going into halftime, it was a very close game, 16 points to 10. Argentina valiantly were fighting back, but there were a few standout players for the English, which we will, of course, be looking through in this review. First of all, Sam Underhill, 24 tackles made. It was his first real chance of this Rugby World Cup that we've seen him, and boy did he step up in a game where it mattered. He was actually alongside Ben Earl in their loose forward trio, who also made a lot of tackles, but he was able to get himself that try and got himself 7 carries over the gain line throughout the 80 minutes. And then the other man in that loose forward trio was Tom Curry. Didn't do too badly either for the Argentines in that loose forward trio. Juan Martin Gonzalez, he just looks like a superstar when he's out there on the field, and I hope to see a lot more from him in the future. We saw that Argentina, when they had the opportunity with ball in hand, they were running it hard, having 405 running meters compared to the English, who did only have that 288. More defenders beaten by Argentina, beating 34 throughout this matchup, and the 13 beaten by England. Tackling stats next. England having to make 173 tackles. So they definitely were tested defensively, but to only concede the 2 tries throughout that game, I feel like England will see that as a little bit of a win. They did give away 8 penalties, but overall managed the game very well, taking the 3s when on offer, and that did lead to them having just a few more points on the board at the end of the game. From this game, I think that both teams can be very happy with the performance that they put on out there on the field. There were standout players, like I mentioned. England's backline, we didn't really get to see a huge amount of someone like a Henry Arundel. They didn't seem to go to his wing, scored 5 tries in that game up against Chile, but just didn't get the opportunity throughout this matchup. Out on the other wing, Freddie Stewart, I thought was pretty strong. Marcus Smith at 15, he had to put in a real shift. He was getting run over when the Argentines had their line breaks, but was still muscling up and still having some very nice impact, including that short pop pass that went to Ben Earl that allowed Earl to score the first try of the match. But of course, the 3rd place game, it is now done and dusted. That is game 47 out of 48. There is 1 game remaining, and that is the Rugby World Cup final, New Zealand versus South Africa. I have to say this game was a great one to call. We are going to be live on the channel doing the commentary for New Zealand versus South Africa as well, so be sure to check that out. But this is just a very short review of what happened in this game. A little bit of a recap. Overall, the stats were pretty even in this contest. Possession 50-50 almost, with 53 in favour of the Argentines. Territory was actually 50-50. We saw a lot more attack from the Pumas throughout their last 10 minutes, but the ill discipline at times did just hurt them that little bit more. In England, they played a smart game of rugby. They knew what they had to do to win, and in the end, they were able to do just that. But do let me know what you thought of this game in the comments down below, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, we have still got plenty more coming up on the channel for this Rugby World Cup, with the 1 game remaining tomorrow. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all for the next one.